Alright, welcome to another video blog entry. Last time I promised a shorter video blog. Well, it didn't quite happen. I must have gotten a bit carried away with the new taillight setup. So this time I'm going to break the turn signal upgrade into two parts, and this blog entry will focus on the design and placement of the new signals. I'll show you the process I go through before installing something. So first off, let me remind everybody what the old setup looks like. So last time we put on the 1938 to 39 reproduction Lincoln Zephyr taillight, and you can see I still have, even though this is the Yamaha extended rear fender, I still have the stock turn signals on there. They're with clear lenses and red bulbs, but still it's the stock setup. So what I've got instead, if we come around to the front, you can see, hopefully without too much brightness happening here, you can see I have these nice billet aluminum chrome plated bullet type ones that are have super bright LEDs on them. So it just so happens that today, wow, let's see if I can make that a little more jumpy. Today I received the new signals for the rear end. Always makes a Friday a little better if parts arrive. Okay, now I'm going to talk about where we're going to place them. Ideally, let me get a little closer on here. Ideally, they would end up being mounted right here in the rear end of the eyebrow, but unfortunately these are about an 8mm and this is a 10mm post, so it's actually not going to be able to go right in there. Also, the post is a little bit short. Not only is it 10mm, but it's also way too short, and if I mounted it on the outside here, it would never meet up with the frame underneath in order to bolt in. So for right now, I'm not going to be able to hook it up here. If I had a couple of different options, I could go through and I could drill this out and make it big enough for the post to go through, and then mount it on the backside without the fender eyebrow. I could do that and it would be in the same location. However, I've ran this without the chrome eyebrow here, and it tends to have too much black right here on the side. The Admiral Blue is up top and the black on the side. And so without this eyebrow, it's a huge field of black. So this eyebrow helps break it up just a little bit, being chrome. Plus, luckily, it follows the exact line of the fender. It's not straight and it points down. There's also the other complication that we run this 2-up and run it with saddlebags a lot, and when I do that, I switch out the seats and I add a backrest and I add the saddlebag supports and I add the saddlebags. So that also wouldn't allow there to be a signal right here. So we need to move it to a different location. Well, so we've got to figure out exactly where the best flow and the best spot for it is. I kind of like the location where I mounted the stock signals, but if I mounted them back here, that would look ridiculous. So a lot of what I'm doing with the bike is pulling this flow there with the Indian fender, with the way the bike is set up in the middle, and with the extended rear fender. I definitely have this flow going backwards. So luckily, this goes right along with it, and so it's going to point right to where the signal needs to be mounted. If you look, this comes right here, and this is almost a perfect height. So what I'm going to end up doing is actually coming down from this point and measuring out a bit on each side, and then coming in about halfway, right about the halfway point, and it's going to mount flush right in there. So it'll go right with that, and then these being the bullets, pull it all together. And so it's going to be critical that these are in the exact right place before I drill the holes. If anything is off at all when you look at the back, it'll look really odd if one's higher than the other. It'll also look really odd if one's a little more further back. So I'm going to measure this out as precisely as possible, probably from the mounting location. Even these, I think, are slightly different. So I'll go from the mounting location and from the sidewall to try to just make it in that perfect location. So that's just a little bit of insight, the kind of process I go through before I decide where to actually drill holes to put something on the bike. I don't just slap things on. I actually have a plan, and I've been working on the plan for this bike for many years, doing concept drawings and many sketches. And so I thought long and hard about where this needs to go on here. Eventually, I'm going to have a different fender and different frame completely when I have the saddlebags and everything on it. And what I'll do is I'll swap the whole unit out when we ride 2 up. But for now, I need to use it for both. Once I swap it out, I'll probably move things around just a little bit. But for now, this is right where it needs to go, right about here. And in my next video, I'll show you the process of putting it on. So thank you.